Hey, so today was really fun, but I'm really tired, so I hope I do today justice. But I woke up, I slept until like 10:30 because I have not really been getting enough sleep. And so I got up at 10:30, did the usual, had breakfast, got ready for the day. And then Nell and I had plans to go with some other exchange students to San Fernando, to the city center to do some shopping. And so I was in charge of finding the bus to take, and so I found it and we went to the stop, and a couple of minutes passed and I was like, okay, where's the bus? Because like it's usually late, but not like that late, you know? So I double checked the time and I was looking at the weekday time, not the Saturday time. And so basically we weren't gonna make our train. And so I was like, okay, like, what do we do? Like, should we still go just 2 hours late? Or like, do we just stay here and not do anything? And so I texted Amalia because, okay, she already wasn't planning to go to the other city, San Fernando. She was planning to go to a mall in Jerez. And so I was like, hey, like, can Nell and I crash your plans and join you? And she was like, yeah, sure. So then we ended up taking a different bus just to the mall in Jerez. And it was a lot of fun. We ended up being on the same bus, which was nice. So then we talked on the 40-50 minute bus ride. And we got to the city center, and Amalia and Valeria got Taco Bell, because Valeria, who's the other exchange student Amalia lives with, had Taco Bell for the first time like a week or so ago and has been really wanting to go back. And so she got her Taco Bell and she was very happy. And then we went to the mall food court for mine and Nella's lunch. And so I got a pad thai. It was called pad thai, but it really wasn't pad thai. It was just rice noodles with like seasonings and vegetables, but it wasn't pad thai. But it was good. And so we all ate lunch together. And then right next to our table where we were eating lunch, there was this like yogurt stand. And so basically it was frozen yogurt, but only one flavor, like a Greek yogurt flavor. So it was like a little bit tart. And then you add on fruit and like a sauce. So I got a pistachio sauce, and then I had like Biscoff crumble and Chips Ahoy, and it was so good. So yeah, that was a great choice, and we're definitely going back there sometime. And then we walked around the mall a little bit. No one really looked or got anything. And then we went out, right outside the mall is a street, and if you walk down the street just a little bit, then you get to this like outside mall with a bunch of outlets and stuff. And so we walked around the Adidas and Nike outlets, and then also like a couple other ones. So that was cool, but it was really expensive because it was like mainstream brands, and so none of us got anything because it was all too expensive. But then we got to this store, I can't remember what it's called, I'll insert it, but it was so cool. I loved it so much. It was like all the outdoor and athletic things you could think of. There were sections for horseback riding, for tennis, for soccer, like there were sections for everything, and there was so much outdoor stuff, and it was really cheap, but it seemed good quality. And so it was so fun walking around, and I got something for Dad. I'm so happy because Dad's so hard to shop for, but I think I found him a souvenir he'll really like. And I got a Band-Aid because I was hurt, like my foot hurt. So yeah, I got 2 things from there, and we had a lot of fun looking around. I tried on this like skirt. I thought it was shorts, but it turned out to be a skirt. So I tried it on and I liked it, but I didn't really need it, so I didn't get it, but it was cute. And then after that, we decided to just go home because we considered going to the city center, but we were all a little bit tired and it was already like 4 or 5 by then. So we just came home. We got home and I had a snack. I had baked oats. I've been making baked oats for me and Nella just in the microwave, and we both really enjoy it. And then hung out a little bit in the family room, and then came upstairs, edited my video that I posted today. Or, well, not today for you, but today for me. And it was my 3rd video, so that's cool. And then after that, I went on a jog with Nella. we made a new record for 2 kilometers. I think it was like 12 minutes 44 seconds or something, but it's a new record for us, so that was cool. And then I came home, video called, FaceTimed my family. It was really nice to see everyone. And then I took a shower, went downstairs for dinner, ate dinner, and then hung out there for a little while. I hung out there for too long knitting because then we went upstairs and cleaned the bathroom. But now it's 12 a.m. and I still have to sweep the bathroom because I don't want to do it tomorrow because I have plans tomorrow. So I still have to sweep the bathroom and get ready for bed and finish recording this before I can go to bed and read. So I stayed down there a little bit too long, but it's okay, I guess. But yeah, so we cleaned the bathroom and it was kind of gross, but whatever. I don't even know if I did it right. I just kind of used bleach on everything. I hope that's okay. But yeah, so after this, I'm going to sweep the bathroom. I already swept the bedroom. And then get ready for bed and go to bed because I am really tired. So yeah, that was my day. Hey, so today was another really good day. I hung out with Amalia and Valeria again, but we'll get to that. So this morning I woke up, last night I stayed up a little late, cleaning the bathroom and everything because they reset on Sundays, but since I had plans, I didn't want to risk not having enough time to clean everything because I don't want to disappoint the host mom. So I stayed up and cleaned the bathroom and our room, and then I went to bed, and I was planning to sleep until 10:30, but I woke up at 9 and couldn't fall back asleep, so that kind of sucked, but I still got like 8.5, 9 hours of sleep, which is better than a school night, so I guess I'll take it. But I woke up, just kind of chilled for a little bit. I texted some people back, read for a little bit, and then got up, got ready for the day, got dressed, all that, and got breakfast. Me, Amalia, and Valeria were planning to go to San Fernando to a tapas festival. Tapas are basically like, what's that called before you eat an entree? I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the little, the small dish of food that they give you for your actual meal. It's basically a bunch of those. And so, yeah, so we had plans, and they said that we'll be leaving 12-ish so that we can sleep in. And so then at 11, I checked in and I was like, hey, when are we leaving? And they were like, oh, we got up late, so we're leaving more 1-ish. And I was like, okay. So then I had more time than I planned for, so I did some editing. I edited yesterday's vlog or video or whatever. And I knitted and watched some TV, and then I got ready to go. And so I planned out when I needed to get on the bus to be able to get to the train on time. But apparently the app I was using, so for all the other stops except the one that I was looking at, it has the updated times because they change it in the fall or summer or something. But of course the one that I was planning to go to, the time was not updated yet. And so I was at the stop, or I got to the stop, and I checked the paper that is on the bus stop, because that's always right. And so I was like, shoot, the bus isn't coming for another 20 minutes. I was in between when the bus was supposed to arrive, even though in the app it said that I was perfectly on time. But anyway, the timing didn't work out with that bus stop, and so then I called Amalia and I was like, hey, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna miss the bus, which misses the train, and so I don't know what to do. And so they're like, oh shoot, well, we're on line 11 right now. If you run, you might make the stop. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna make the stop because the bus was supposed to stop in 2 minutes, but I was a 5-minute walk from the bus stop, and so I was like, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. So they were like, okay, well, if you walk really fast, you might still make it to the train station in time. I was like, okay. And so I speed walked as fast as I possibly could the entire way to the train station. And then I got there in time, but of course, I got there earlier than I needed to be, and so I could have just walked a little bit slower and maybe not sweat as much, and it would have been totally fine. But I speed walked, and I was there like 7 minutes early, and the train left like 2 minutes late, so I would have been totally fine if I just walked slower. But whatever, I got there in time, and then we rode the train and got to San Fernando, went to the tapas festival, and then we had some tapas. I thought it was gonna be like really cheap street food because it was like a bunch of vendors in a park, but it was pretty expensive actually, like a small tapa for €2.50. So I got 3 tapas and I spent $7.50, and it was like not much food, so that sucked a little bit, but it was okay. And then we went to, after the tapa festival, we had some time to kill before our train, and so we went to Bahia Sur, which is the big mall that I was planning to go to yesterday with like the other exchange students, but I missed the train and bus for. So we went there, but since it's Sunday, everything was closed. And so we just sat at a table and played some cards because I come prepared. So we played BS, and it was really fun. And then, so we were planning to take a train to Cadiz, which is further away from Jerez, to explore the city and stuff, and then go back to Jerez. But we were like, things in Cadiz are probably going to be closed today since it's Sunday. So like, why go? Because then that's just even more time coming back home. And so we decided to just go on the train back to Jerez. But we still had like half an hour to kill before that. And so we just kind of goofed around. As we were walking to the train station just to wait there, so that just to have the security of already being at the train station, we somehow got to talking about heel clicks. And so Amalia and I both did some heel clicks, and I have some pictures, and you gotta tell me who you think did it better. I know that Amalia probably did it a little better, but I'm hoping at least one person votes for me. Okay, so comment who you think did the heel click better. And those pictures that I have are actually part of a slow-mo video, and it's so funny. The slow-mo videos that we have, it looks so stupid. But yeah, that was really fun. And then we got to the train station and just kind of gossiped a little. It was really fun. And then got on the train, rode back, and then we walked into the city center of Jerez. And I've been really wanting to try out this ice cream shop that Amalia and Valeria went to with the exchange student who's been here since February. Her name is India, because it's India's favorite ice cream shop, and Amalia and Valeria hyped it up so much. And I was like, okay, I have to go to this ice cream shop. And so we went, and I got the smallest size. And I'm so glad I did, because it was so sweet and like rich. Like the small size was the perfect size because they really pack it in and load it up. And so I got pistachio and cheesecake, because of course I got cheesecake, and it was so good. Oh my god. The cheesecake was like a little bit too sweet, but it's okay. It was still delicious. And the pistachio was perfect. So next time, oh, and then Valeria got mango and let me try a little bit, and it was so good. It tasted like the most ripe mango. Like, it was so good. So I'm getting mango next time, and probably pistachio again because it was really good. But there's an ice cream flavor that's literally called Happy, so I'll have to try that eventually. And it was like a little bit expensive. It was €2.90 for my little cup, but honestly worth it. Okay, worth it. And then we sat on a bench and just kind of hung out for a little bit, and then we caught the bus back. So I got off a couple stops before them because they live obviously not in the same place as me. So I got off the bus, and then walked like 15 minutes back home. Got home. Since chem is so, like, my situation in chem is so complicated, I was planning to email my professor. They call them professor, but she's my teacher. And say like, hey, can I talk to you tomorrow after class? Like, I don't understand what's happening in class, but I couldn't find her email. So, and like, I asked a Spanish student and everything, and the email just isn't accessible to us right now, which is really weird, but I'll talk to her tomorrow. And I tried doing some more chem homework, but I don't think I'm doing it right, so I stopped. And then I went down and joined Maribel to watch some TV, and I brought my knitting because I'm so excited about this scarf I'm making for Maria. I think it's turning out really good. Yeah, I did that, and then I went up to get ready for bed. And it just so happened that Isabel was available at the same time as me, and so I called her, and it was really nice to catch up a little bit because we haven't really talked since I've been gone. But it was really nice. So yeah, I talked to her while I got ready for bed, and then I was called down for dinner. So we had dinner at like 9:20, and then I ate dinner, watched some Fuller House. Oh, Nella didn't go with me on the outing today because she thought she was going out with friends, but she's gone now. She just ended up going later than she thought she would. But so anyway, it was just me and Maribel for dinner, and I ate dinner, watched some Fuller House, had figs for dessert, and then I came up here and I'm recording this video, and I'm getting ready for bed, like the rest of it, like brushing teeth, and then I'll go to bed. And yeah, I gotta go to bed early because I got school tomorrow, but then on Tuesday I don't have school, so that's cool. Maybe I'll do some stuff with Amalia and Valeria again. But yeah, so that was my day. It was a pretty good one. Okay, so today was a really good day at school, but a not so good day at home. But so I woke up, did the usual, got ready for the day, ate breakfast, walked to the bus stop. It was really foggy this morning. And then got on the bus, got to school, and I went to the secretary's office to see if I could move out of chemistry class, basically. And at first he was like, oh yeah, there's another class at the same time, I'll see what I can do. But then he found me later in class and he said, yeah, sorry, you actually can't switch out because it's a required course for the Bachillerato de Ciencias. So I couldn't switch out of it, and I was like, okay, well, is there anything I can do? And he was like, well, just talk to your teacher and see what she can help you with. And I was like, okay. So all that happened before school, and then my first class of the day was lengua, and it was interesting, it was good. I enjoyed it, but we got kind of a big homework assignment, but we have a week for it, so it's fine. And so yeah, that was good. And then we had PE. It was really my first PE class of the year because last time we were just like getting to know the teacher and it was literally in a classroom. But this time it was outside and we did a warm-up and some games, and the games we literally played them in 6th grade in the US, and they're playing them in 11th grade in Spain. It makes sense with everything else. Like, they're just not as mature here, but I mean, it's fine. The games weren't horrible, so I don't really have anything to complain about. But then after that, I had chemistry, and we went over the homework, and I got some questions answered, but I'm still very confused. And so I talked to the teacher after school, and I was like, hey, as you know, I'm an exchange student, and like where I'm from, I've only taken one chemistry class and I barely learned anything, and so like I'm completely lost in your class. Is there anything we can do? And she was like, well, yeah, just like try to learn the valence electrons first and then slowly work your way through stuff. And I was like, okay, well, like I know the valence electrons, but only if I have the periodic table. She's like, well, you're not going to have the periodic table on the test. And so I want to explicitly ask her if she can make an exception for me for the periodic table for the test, because it's literally like in a week or so. Because if not, I'm gonna fail the test. I'll probably fail it even if I have the periodic table, but at least I'll have a better chance with it. So I'm gonna explicitly ask her that on Wednesday, because tomorrow I don't have school. And she was like, oh yeah, but there are these great games online that you can play to like practice the stuff we've been going over. And I was like, okay, like would you be able to send me the link? She was like, no. And basically what I was getting from her was, yeah, no, not worth my time. Like, no. Which is like, what the heck? Like, that your job is to teach us how, like, you would think she would care a little bit more about me struggling in her class, but she seemed very unbothered, so that sucks. But it's okay. I just hope that I get better, which I will. It just sucks that I'm literally gonna fail my test. I don't think I've ever failed a test, ever, so that's gonna be weird. But then after that, I had recreo, and it was fine. It was boring, didn't really talk to anyone. But during PE, I talked to these two girls that I've been meaning to talk to because they seem really nice, and they are really nice. And so I want to hang out with them a little bit more. It just kind of sucks because the first day of school, we chose our seats, and since most of our classes are in the same classroom, you can't switch seats because everyone sits in a seat. Like there's no extra seats, and so you can't move around, so I can't sit next to them. Oh well. And then recreo, and then after recreo was English, and it was really boring because they were literally just practicing asking questions. So they asked the teacher a question like, what's your favorite color? And the teacher would answer, and she'd be like, what's your favorite color? And I'm like, do I really need to be sitting here listening to this? But then people found out I spoke Chinese, and they thought it was really cool, so that was cool. After that, I had philosophy, and philosophy was fine. We read through notes. All of the classes are pretty unproductive, honestly. Like, we read through 2 pages of notes, and it took the entire class period. And, it's not very dense notes. But fine by me, because I need a while to process the information anyway, so it worked out perfectly for me. But then after that, I had technology. Technically, I'm supposed to be in something called Patrimonio, which is, studying the cities and the monuments and stuff in them. But I've been accidentally going to technology the entire of last week. And so I was going to go to the secretary's office before class today, but he was already gone. So I'll just ask him to officially switch me on Wednesday. And it should be fine because that class is tiny. They definitely have room for me. And okay, that class is actually so great. I'm really getting the hang of it. On Friday, I stayed late after class to really understand what we were doing because I was going in blind, just like with Chem. But he was really good at explaining it. And it's not that hard, at least the ones we've been doing so far, but they are still reviewing. But today at class, we did 2 practice problems, or 2 problems, and it took the entire period. But I was among the first to be done, and both times my answers were off, but only barely because of a stupid mistake. I said that 160 divided by 10 was 10 instead of 16. Just really easy things to fix, but I got the main idea of the problem, so I'm really happy about that. And it's so satisfying to figure that out. I'll post a picture of what it is because I really enjoy it. And then school got out. And I had to wait 20 minutes for the bus. I can't wait for the bikes to be fixed. But I rode the bus back home, walked home with Nella, practiced rolling the R's. I haven't gotten it again, but I'm trying. I'm practicing. And then came home, had lunch. Maribel was home for lunch because she came home early because she was home from 3 to 5 and then was at work from 5 to 8. It was interesting. But yeah, so we had lunch all together, and then I was not feeling it today. I was really sluggish when I got home. I don't know why, but so I was on my phone, and then of course I didn't want to do anything because I was on my phone, and so eventually I got off of it, and it wasn't that long, but it was enough to give me the brain fog. And I wanted to let Nella have the desk in the room, and so then I was doing homework on the couch downstairs. But I think since the couch is comfortable, or it's where I usually just hang out and chill, I was not in the right mental state to do homework. And so I was just super sluggish the whole time. And so then eventually I came upstairs and got the desk because Nella was done. And that helped. But the lengua homework is actually a little bit hard because it's reading this play, I think, and answering questions about it, and it's a little complicated, but I'll figure it out. I just need to ask the teacher for a little help, but that teacher seems helpful, at least. Yeah. And then after homework and all that stuff, I just kind of hung out, knitted. Nella went to hang out with some friends, and then I had a nice night in with Maribel. We just had dinner, did a lot of knitting, watched some TV, and then I'm coming up here and recording this. And I'm not worried about getting to sleep early tonight because I get to sleep in tomorrow, because tomorrow is some kind of holiday just for Jerez, And so Amalia, Valeria, and Nella and I are going into Cadiz because the shops will all be open in Cadiz, just not in Jerez. So we're gonna walk around the town, maybe do some shopping. I'm really excited. But yeah, so I get to sleep it. But yeah, that was my day. Hey, so today was a holiday for Jerez. It was like the day of the patron of the city or something, and so we got the day off school, but it was only a citywide holiday, and so Amalia, Valeria, Nala, and I went to Cadiz to spend the day because everything was still open in Cadiz, even though it was closed in Jerez for the holiday. So today I got up at like 10. I got to sleep in. It was so nice. And then I got up, got ready for the day, ate breakfast, the usual. I did my hair and then did Nella's hair to match it. And then, and I wore long sleeves today. It was actually cool enough to wear long sleeves. It was so nice. Like, I wasn't even too hot. It was amazing. But yeah, so we left, we walked to the bus stop, and I double checked the time, and thank God I did, because the time on the app was wrong compared to the time online and the actual time. So like, it's a really good thing I checked because the app is not updated or something, and we would have been way off. But yeah, I checked, so it was fine. And so Nell and I got on the bus, and then we all four got on the train, and it was like a 45-minute bus ride to the train, to Cadiz, all on the train. And at first we were just talking about school, and then Amalia and I started geeking out about books because we have like very similar book tastes, and it was really fun talking about what we read and what we want to read and like book recommendations. And so I'm going to start keeping a log to keep track of all the books I read because she does that, and I think it's a really good idea. And so we're definitely going to get together and talk about books more later on because, of course, we will. And then we got to Cadiz, and we went to like the city center, and there just happened to be this like kind of art or crafty fair going on, and so there were all these tents with like different vendors, and so I picked something up for Cookie, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. But I picked something up for Cookie, and then we went into like the actual city center, and we're walking around, and there were souvenir shops, so many souvenir shops. Not nearly as many as Amsterdam, but like maybe every 5 stores instead of every other store. But I wanted to go into every one of them, of course, but we had to get lunch first because we were all kind of hungry. So we went to a place called Sushi Panda, and I got like a crispy chicken salad, and it was so good, but the sauce was too salty, so that kind of sucked. But it was so cool. It had like seaweed salad, edamame, crispy fried chicken, lettuce, like Kewpie mayo, and like maybe a teriyaki sauce, and it was, oh my god, it was so good. And then after that, we walked back towards the train station, but this time actually going into the shops, and it was really fun, and I didn't end up buying anything, but it was fun, it was really fun. And then we went into 2 chocolate shops, or like chocolate/candy shops, and we tried a bunch of free samples because, of course, like how could you go into one of those and not take advantage of the free samples? But yeah, they were really good, and it was really fun. And then eventually we made our way back to where we started, and there was this ice cream shop, but the ice cream shop also sold this like basically a natural strawberry popsicle covered in chocolate, and so I got that, and it was a little pricey. It was €3 for like a small popsicle, but worth it. Okay, it was like blended strawberries with maybe a little bit of sugar dipped in chocolate, and it was so good. And of course, mine lasted like 3 times as long as Amalia and Nella's because I eat so slow, but it was so good. And then we went back to the train station, got on the train, went back to Jerez, and then Nella and I went to Amalia and Valeria's house with them because they have a dog and we really wanted to meet him. And so we went to their house, and it's so cool. I don't have any pictures because I don't want to take a picture of someone else's house, but it's really cool. It's very like open, like there's literally an old well in the middle of their living room. Like, it's so cool, and they have like a rooftop. I like their house. It's really cool. And the dog is so cute. And so we played with him for a little while. And then Nella, Amalia, and I went back to our house. Amalia to our house, and then she left. Nella and I went on a jog. It was good. It was a good jog, and this was our second fastest time. So that's cool. And then we came back. I took a shower. We went down to have dinner. I had like spaghetti with meatballs today. And then we watched a little more Twilight because we were signed into Gabrielle's profile already, because I don't know why. But yeah, so we watched a little more Twilight. And then I'm coming upstairs to record this, and then I'll get ready for bed and then go to bed. And I think I'm going to have an early night tonight, which is like a miracle because it's only 10. So yeah, that was my day. Hey, so this morning I woke up, did the usual, got ready for the day, ate breakfast, went to the bus stop, rode to school, and then it just so happened that as I was walking into school, the chem teacher was walking in at the same time, and so I caught up to her, and I was like, hey, is it at all possible for me to use the periodic table on my test? Because I know that the other kids can't, but they have 3 years on me, so it's I'm not going to do as well as them. And she was like, well, do you know the valence electrons with the periodic table? And I was like, yeah, I know some of them. She's like, okay, well, still, you should be able to do it because they're doing it. And I'm like, the heck? That is not sound logic. And I pushed it a little bit, and she's like, okay, I'll check with the head of department and see what they say. I was like, okay, cool. And then I went to first period, which was Proyecto de Valores. It's like the non-religious religion option. And in that class, we literally do nothing. The entire class period was work time, but I had nothing to work on because you're not allowed to use your computer or phone in class. And so I have a bunch of lengua homework, reading and answering questions about it, but I couldn't work on it for an entire hour, even though I had nothing else to work on, because I wasn't allowed to use my phone or my computer. And I literally asked, hey, can I use my phone to read? And he said no. What the heck? That's so stupid. Why would you have Google Classroom and not allow your students to use their computer in class? It's so frustrating. But then after that, I had chemistry. And chemistry made absolutely no sense. What's new? But I've just accepted that I'm going to fail my tests, and I just hope I get better because that's what college applications are really looking for a sob story and then you to get better. So this is perfect. I just have to fail some tests first, but whatever. And then the teacher walked up to me in the middle of class. She was like, hey, so, yeah, you can't use the periodic table. Which sucks because literally, okay, it's like I've taken French 1 and they're in French 4 and they just kind of threw me into French 4 with them. How can you expect me to know the vocabulary, but how can you expect me to know the periodic table? To have it memorized, completely memorized, and know the valence electrons and the charges and 5 other things that I don't even know what they're called, let alone what they mean. It's horrible. But then after that, I had technical drawing, and technical drawing was fun, as always. And then I had recreo, and I was planning to just eat in the classroom alone because such is the life of an exchange student with no friends. But then the 2 girls that I talked to on Monday who seemed really nice invited me to hang out with them during the recreo, and so I went with them, and it was really fun. And yeah, they seemed really nice, and I was supposed to get one girl's number today after school, but then didn't end up happening, but I'll probably get their numbers tomorrow. So yeah, that's more people to help me with homework because I am very lost. And they seem really nice, so that's really cool. And then after that, I had math. Yeah, I had math. And it was not as confusing as the other couple days. It was really easy because I already knew it, but he didn't teach as much, so it wasn't as confusing. And then after that, I had technology. And so apparently I've been in the wrong class the entire time. I've been going to technology instead of patrimonio and creaciones digitales. So technology is 4 hours a week, and patrimonio, which is like monuments and cities and stuff, is 2 hours a week, and then so is digital creations. But I switched. So originally I was signed up for digital creation 2 hours, patrimonio 2 hours. But since I've already been accidentally going to technology, I officially made the switch, and it's great. It was fun. But tomorrow we're starting something new, so I hope it's not super hard, or at least if it's hard, I hope it somewhat makes sense. But yeah, we'll see. And then after that, I was supposed to have PE, but someone told me that that we don't have like actual PE today. We met in the theater, which apparently there is one. You learn something new every day. And so we went in the theater, and there was this presentation about like a Jerez choir or something, and so we like learned about the choir the entire period. So that was cool, because even though I was dressed for PE, I didn't really want to do PE, because last hour of the day, I mean, who wants to do PE last hour of the day other than psychopaths? Okay, no, PE last hour of the day sucks. And then after that, I went outside and waited for 20 minutes for the bus. Can't wait until the bikes are ready. And then I rode the bus, talked to Paula and Atenea. That's the other girl's name. And then Nell and I walked home from the bus stop. And then we got home, ate lunch. I watched some Fuller House. And then came upstairs. I did some dibujo técnico homework, so drafting. And it was cool. And then I did I studied some chemistry, but I don't want to, so I don't, which is like a dangerous cycle, but I'll probably work on it more tomorrow, hopefully. But then I started to work on lengua, which is reading a play and then answering questions about it. There were only 11 physical copies of the book, but there are 36 people in my class, and so of course I didn't get a hard copy, and so I have to use the PDF on my computer. But the thing is, since it's both a kind of old Spanish and Spanish, there are obviously a bunch of words I don't know, and so I was reading through my computer, and every 10 or 20 words was a word I didn't know, and so I'd look it up and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, and then keep reading. But then the thing is, when I go back and reread, then I have to look it up all over again, and so I'm like, okay, this is not working. So I go downstairs, ask Maribel if she has a printer. She says no, but she knows where you can get stuff printed. So I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll do that. And so so basically you just send them the link, and then they print it, and then you go there and pick it up. Anyway, there was this whole thing, and so I only ended up getting Act 1 printed out, but that's fine. That should last me until Monday, and then maybe I'll just print out every act, because I think it's just a set price per page. I don't think you get a discount on printing more pages at a time at the printer shop, so I'll just do one act at a time, and then that'll be more compact anyway. But yeah, and then it worked really well. So Nella and I walked there and back. It was 20 minutes each way, but it was nice because I was planning to go on a walk today anyway. And then came back, started reading that, and writing down all the words I didn't know and learned the words that I learned that I didn't know. And it's an interesting play. Not much is happening yet, but it's not boring, mind-numbing, I wish this was over 5 minutes ago. No, it was fine. And so I spent an hour and a half or 2 hours on it, and I got through literally 26 pages. Yeah, I'm not the fastest reader in Spanish, as I'm sure we could have predicted, but 26 pages and an hour and a half to 2 hours, that's a little embarrassing, but at least I actually understood it. I really took time to process and take it in, so hopefully I won't have to reread it, or at least not too much, but yeah. But I read 26 of 36 pages, and the stuff isn't due till Monday, so I'm doing well. And then, while Nell and I were walking to and from the printer shop, I was practicing rolling my R's, and I actually got it a couple times. I just can't keep it going, which sucks. But I'll get there. I'm determined. But then also every 5 minutes I give up. But I'm feeling determined right now. So, but yeah. And then we came home. I did homework, and then I did homework for so long. It was 9 by the time I was done. And then I edited a little bit, and then got called down for dinner. And then we had dinner at 9:30, which is a little bit late. We're usually done by 9:30, but oh well, dinner was really good, so that was nice. And then I came upstairs, I'm recording this, and then I'll get ready for bed and go to bed. And yeah, that was my day. Hey, so today was kind of a boring day, kind of a stressful day, but then kind of a good day. But anyway, so I woke up, got ready for the day, etc., got to school, and then did I do something? Oh, before school, I got Marta's phone number. So Marta and Anna are the two girls in my class that I talked to during PE on Monday. And so I got Marta's number, and so that's cool. And then we had math class, and math class was so boring because they learned the same thing that I learned last year. And they learned to solve inequalities the exact same way that I solved them, which I think is just the universal way to solve them, but whatever. I knew exactly how to do the thing that they spent an hour learning. And here, the pace for learning is so much slower. They spent so long learning the things. Okay, we spent 10 minutes on this one problem that I probably would have had 2 minutes to work on last year. It's a little weird, but I guess last year it was an accelerated class, but anyway. And then, so that was boring, but at least it was easy. And then after math, I had technology. And technology was in fact hard, but it does in fact make at least a little bit of sense. So it's like Sudoku, but technology style. We have to figure out the ohms, the voltage, and the something. I don't know. But yeah, so basically the entire class was him showing us how to do it, and then we copied it down, and then I had to finish it for homework, and then tomorrow we'll try it for the first time ourselves, and that'll be the real test, because it makes sense, just putting it into practice will be hard, but the good kind of hard, you know? And then after technology was philosophy, and philosophy was really boring, but what's new? I don't like philosophy. But at least we don't do anything. We literally, so I asked Marta during recreo what we do in philosophy, and apparently we literally just read the notes together every day, and we have some tests, maybe a couple projects, and that's it. So that'll be an easy, boring class, but at least I only have it 3 times a week. And then there's recreo. I spent recreo with Marta, her other 2 friends. There are 2 other girlfriends, and then 3 boy friends. Anyway, they're friends, but they walk in lines, not with, there's a girl's line and a boy's line, and they don't really talk unless it's to coordinate. And I'm then why are you even walking together? But whatever, it works for them. So I haven't really talked to the boys at all, but also I haven't really talked to the girls much either, because there's a lot of silence in that group, but I prefer comfortable silence to incessant yapping, so it's fine by me. And then after recreo, I had lengua, and lengua was so boring. That was the most boring lengua period I've ever sat through, but it's over, and I'm hoping that tomorrow is better. And then after that was drafting, or technical drawing, whatever you want to call it, and it was cool. It was a lot. And so I had some homework to do. But it was cool. I mean, I really enjoy it still, so that's good. And then after that was English. And English, we got this, like, on one side was text, and on the other side was a worksheet. And so they read the text out loud in class, and then we did the worksheet ourselves. But by the time the teacher was done, like, explaining and answering questions about the worksheet, I was already done, because it's so simple, it's so easy. And then it turns out we weren't even turning it in, so I didn't have to do it, but whatever. And so I was like, hey, can I do other homework since I'm done? And she was like, sure. And so I did some drafting in class. That was good. And then that was my last class of the day. So I went out to the bus stop. I waited for the bus for like 20 minutes, and then went home, ate lunch. But then I was like kind of stressed out because I had a lot of homework to do. I had like technical drafting, lengua, some other stuff. But yeah, so I was a little stressed out. So then I rushed through lunch, and then started homework at like 4:15, and then did homework for like 2 hours 45 minutes or 3 hours straight, and was stressed out about homework, but was just trying to push my way through it. And then after homework, I did editing for another like 45 minutes, and was still stressed. And so I texted my family. I was like, oh my god, like, it's not going well right now. But then at like 8:15, I went on a drive with Nella, and it was our third fastest time, but only by a second. We were 1 second away from our time 2 days ago. So, you know what? I'll take it. And then I came back inside, and then the run helped, like, calm me down. Like, I'm not as stressed anymore. Thank God, because I need to sleep. And then I took a shower, had dinner. We had burgers and fries, and I ate way too many fries because Nella doesn't like them, and so they were all for me, and I ate way too many fries. But I think everyone goes through that. It's a very relatable experience, especially because I seasoned them with salt and thyme. Oh, so good. I copied mom's seasoning, kind of, for sweet potato fries, and oh my god, it was so good. It was too good because I ate way too many. Whatever. And then I came up here, I'm recording this, and I'm gonna get ready for bed and go to bed. But yeah, that was my day. Hey, so today was the last day of a tiring week, and I'm kind of glad it's over. But anyway, so I got ready for the day, the usual. Got to school. Oh, Nella didn't go to school today because you know how Tuesday was the day of like the Jerez patron? Well, today was the day of the Cadiz patron. And so some schools and some classes were like skipping basically. And so Nella's class was skipping, but mine wasn't. So I went to school without her. But it was fine. The bus was pretty empty, so I actually got my own seat this time. Or not my own seat, I got my own row this time, so it was cool. And then I got to school and started the day with English. And I finally didn't have to do something. They did this worksheet, and the teacher told me that I didn't have to because it was literally like first grade level stuff, which would have been really stupid, but I ended up taking a look at it anyway, and I found 2 grammatical errors in the prompt, or like what she wrote. I didn't tell her, but it's funny that I'm better than the teacher at the subject that they're teaching. I'm gonna make sense because I'm a native speaker, but still, it's just funny. And so I worked on drafting in English because I figured some stuff out and then worked on it during English. And then after English, I had drafting. And so we learned some stuff, did some stuff, ended up with some homework. And it was cool. It was just normal, like, you know, you learn how to do it, and then you draw, and then you learn how to do it, and then you draw. It was a very regular day. Sorry the computer shaking so much. We got a new table. The screws aren't screwed in all the way. We got to do it tomorrow. So every time I move just a little bit, the computer shakes. But I'll put my hands off. But yeah, so drafting, and then after drafting, I had technology. And you know how I said that today would be the real test to see if I really got it or not? Well, before today, I didn't get it. But today, I think I got it. Because we actually put what we learned yesterday into practice today. And the first one, I got like half or more of the answers wrong. And then the second one, I got like half of the answers wrong. But then the third one, after like learning the things that I did wrong, the third one I did, and I haven't checked my answers with anyone yet. But I'm feeling pretty confident about it, so we'll see. But I like it. Like, it makes sense now. And then I had recreo, and I walked around with Marta and the friend group a little bit. I don't really talk to many people. Like, even when I'm walking with them, I don't really talk to them because I have nothing to say. Or if I do have something to say, I don't know how to say it in Spanish, so then I just don't say it. And so, like, I don't talk much, which maybe I should, but I'm not really sure how to change that because I can't just improve my Spanish by pure willpower. Anyway, after that, I had math, and math was super boring again, but I just worked on the technology stuff because I figured it all out in math. Like, I was in the process of figuring out technology, and so I just worked on it in math class, and I did almost all my homework in math class because I already knew everything they were learning. And so the problem that they spent 30 minutes on, I spent 3 minutes on, and then I was done. And then after that was chemistry. And so chemistry, I just copy and pasted everything she was writing. Like, you know, like she wrote it on the board and I wrote it on my notebook. And then I tried to pay attention, but it was pretty hopeless. So then I just kind of drowned her out and finished my technology homework. And then after that was lengua, and lengua was so boring. I didn't almost fall asleep today though because I kept myself busy with ripping paper and, you know, I kept myself busy somehow, but I didn't feel my eyelids drooping as much today, so that was good. And then, I stayed a little bit late to ask the teacher a question, and that was really helpful. And so, and I got his email because it's not on Google Classroom, which is so stupid, because why would you have Google Classroom if you're not going to post your email there? And then I went to wait for the bus, got on the bus, rode home, unpacked, had lunch, pumpkin soup, it was good, and then got started on homework. So I did drafting first, I think. And we had these two problems that we were supposed to figure out on our own, and I figured out one of them, and then the other one I'll wait for Christina because she's going to do it on Sunday. So she'll explain it to me on Sunday, and hopefully it'll make sense then. And then I did some chemistry, I think, and I've got the first row of the periodic table memorized. I have like a acronym, like their acronym. I came up with the elongated version of the acronym anyway. So yeah, I have the +1 elements memorized, and I almost have the +2 elements memorized. And then I worked on lengua, for a while, but now I only have 2 more problems or prompts left, so that's cool. And one of them is drawing, so I only have 1 more writing prompt left, and it's maybe the hardest one, but I got 5 out of 7 done. So, well, actually I got 3 out of 7 done because 2 I had already done, but I have 5 out of 7 done as of now, so then only 2 more, and I have 2 days to do it. So yeah, and then that took a couple hours, and then I took a break, looked at my phone for like half an hour, and then edited, And so, yeah, I was a little bit behind on editing, but I caught up today, so the video should be uploaded on time tomorrow. Well, today for you, I guess, or whenever you watch it, I don't know. And then I went downstairs, hung out with Maribel for a little bit, knitted. The scarf is getting longer. And then apparently Nella was going out with friends today, so she left. And then I was watching TV with Maribel, and then she made dinner, pizza, and the crust got even worse from last week, but it's okay. It was still definitely edible. Yeah, hung out there for a little bit, and then I came upstairs and I'm recording this, then I'll get ready for bed and go to bed. It's only 10:30, which is kind of sad for a Friday night, but I don't really have friends, so but yeah, that was my day and my week. That was my week.